We live in a twilight world. So last night I was watching the DVD box set, The World at War. Yeah, I've spoke about this a fair few times. Yeah, it's probably the best made World War II series going, I would say. I mean, I think it's either 36 or 38 hours long, yeah? Each hour-long episode focuses on World War II from a specific angle. Say from the angle of the Japanese, from the angle of the Germans, from the angle of Britain, from the angle of the US, from the angle of the Italians, so on and so on and so on. Very thorough, right? And I'm not saying any of it's true. This is, of course, the narrative they want you to believe. Now, the thing is, when you're watching it, or whenever I'm watching it, I pick up on things that make me go, whoa, shit. That's a bit of a tell, a bit of a wink wink and so on. So anyway, I was watching an episode last night, and I think it was called Hitler's Germany. It's towards the end of the box set. And it's from the years of 1933 up until the invasion of Poland. And the thing that jumped out at me was the book burning. The famous 1933 Nazi book burning event, okay? Where, all across, I think it was the 10th of May, all across Germany, a massive book burning ritual took place, And it was books that were considered un-German, and anything that stood against the spirit of Germany. And of course, obviously Jewish books and so on and so on. But yeah, man. So I'm watching this episode, and he goes, the largest of these book burnings happened in Opera Square in Berlin. And I thought, there we go. Once again, the op era, the opera. Those that have been following my work know that I've been kind of tracking this stuff for a long time now. A lot of the world stage theatre seems to happen in some way, shape or form around or near an actual opera or theatre house. And yeah, man, I mean, you could say this book burning event was when it started to get serious in Germany regarding the insanity, right? So yeah, man, it happened in the Opera Square right in front of the Berlin State Opera. Is this a screenshot or is this a video? Oh, it's a video. Let's watch it. There's nothing really in it, but...
In Berlin, wie in anderen Universitätsstädten Deutschlands, wurden undeutsche und unsittliche Bücher von den Studenten eingesammelt und öffentlich verbrannt. Der Scheiterhaufen auf dem Opernplatz in Berlin.
Very theatrical. If we were to apply the illusion warfare type of look at this kind of thing, right, it was probably to some extent very real for the people participating in the theatre. It didn't just happen at the Opera House in Berlin, happened all across the country and happened a lot on university grounds and so on. So the hidden hand would have set this up and people would have, participated in it, brought their books along, threw it on the fire. A fire is very real. The action of throwing your book on the fire, very real. This is a very fully immersive event that brings, the illusion, the fiction into your reality. For those people, it would have been a big kind of ceremony of sorts, right? Anyway, so of course we got the date of 1933. This is when Adolf Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. The then president, I think, was he called the president or prime minister, whatever you call the leader of Germany, was Hindenburg, a guy called Hindenburg, and he was pressured into employing Hitler to, sort out the country because, Germany was in a right old state even still after World War I. Unemployment through the roof. And of course, I'm not going to get into it now, but most people know I believe that Hitler was a fictional character, an agent of the double cross. That might even be J.C. Masterman himself, J.C. Masterman, the head of the double cross, wearing that mask, wearing that stupid moustache, playing that role. I don't know. But he definitely was an agent of the double cross, there to bring forth and manifest World War II into a reality. The other thing was the amount of books that were burnt at the Opera Square. 20,000. And if you go on Wikipedia and that, they'll keep bringing up 20,000. And we know that 20 is, of course, 1010, right? The XX. So it's all coded in there. So now, modern day Berlin, outside of the State Opera House, which is still there, they have this kind of memorial. And it's called the Empty Library. To memorialize the book burning and so on and so on. Now, the Israeli, whoever, artist or whatever that made this, this memorial, this, I guess you call it a piece of art, I don't know. He specifically made enough bookshelves to hold the volume of 20,000 books. 20 again, the 20 committee, the XX. Always with the numbers with these guys. It's all encoded in this kind of stuff, yeah? Visitors look through the glass into the library below. And there it is from a different angle. And I think, this is Opera Square. Berlin. And yeah, man. A crowd of 40,000 people watch un-German books being burnt in the Opernplatz, Bebelplatz, that means like Opera Square, Berlin, 10th of May, 1933. Yeah, man, it's just interesting stuff. This is the whole thing, if you're paying attention to these documentaries and stuff, these little kind of winks and sinks, they kind of jump out, man. Always for me anyway, So yeah, I thought this was a very interesting one. And I might look further into it. I mean, I'm just looking at this now. I have literally just noticed this now. Is she doing the whole devil horns thing? Who is that? I'm guessing, is that a statue? Is that a statue that might have existed in Berlin doing the old devil horns? I don't know. I don't really care much for devil horn hands. I don't think that's a big thing. But, what I speculate the devil hands means, it represents, Shaitan. The kind of deceivers, right? The deceiver jinn, yeah? Which are called the Shaitan. Which the Christians were called Satan. But I don't really like looking at the world through a Christian lens. I much prefer the original version of Christianity, which is, Islam. That might offend a few Christians that are listening to this, but, Christianity is just Islam altered and tinkered for the European world. And, I talk about the jinn a lot. The jinn predate the Quran. That's why the jinn are so important, because the jinn, legends of the jinn, tales of the jinn, exist Abrahamic religions. They pre-exist the Abrahamic religions. They pre-exist the Quran, the Torah, and the Bible. That's why I kind of use the jinn when it comes to describing, the hidden ones that I often talk about, the ones that are puppeteering our world, as it were. For me, the jinn fit the bill. But anyway, I digress. That's a different topic for a different day. That's it. We live in a twilight world. There are no friends at dusk.